These days there is a lot of emphasis as to what kind of food we are eating, whether it is healthy, it is not healthy, it is organic, it is not organic, what time are we eating it. Then we are talking of superfoods these days. Here I want to put a little more emphasis on this, that we get our energy not merely by the food that we eat, but the food that we digest. So the energy comes, or the nutrients are released, and they are absorbed in the body only when the food has been digested properly. If it was only about eating healthy food, then we could have stuffed a lot of healthy food in a sick person and expect a state of health from him. But that is not what happens. Because of sickness, his digestive system is not working properly, and stuffing himself with any kind of food, even if it is very healthy, can lead to contrary results, in fact. Now, if what is the most important thing is how our food is getting digested, then we need to understand as to what are those factors I need to take care of, which will keep my body environment in a state that my digestive system works well, and the food that I eat gets properly digested, processed, absorbed in my system. So one of the foremost things is that I need to keep my gut clean. To keep my gut clean, I need to give it proper nice rest for 14 to 15 hours. So apart from the sleeping hours which are there, which could be anywhere between 7 to 8 hours, after waking up for 3 to 4 hours, I need to have light food. Light food means it could be nutritious drinks, they could be green juices, they could be herbal teas, they could be fruits. If we keep ourselves hydrated properly in this time of the day and give these kind of foods to our body, it will help in cleaning our gut properly. During the day, we should have food, of course, which is healthy, which is light, which is not too greasy, because that is the food which gets digested. We will do a video later in which I will be talking in detail about what kind of food to have and at what time to have. So right now, let us keep ourselves restricted to keeping our gut clean by giving it proper rest and having very, very light food in the morning when we get up for at least 4 to 5 hours. The other thing which is very important is that when we are eating, what kind of mental state we are in. Because when we eat in a state of anxiety, stress, anger, tension, then what happens is that all these negative emotions, they basically are generated out of that basic emotion of fear. And when body recognizes fear, it declares a state of emergency inside, and it starts preparing itself to deal with this emergency. When the whole system is preparing itself to deal with the emergency, then the digestive system is not in a state to digest the food well, because what is getting released in the body is the cortisol and the adrenaline. Now at this time, the digestive juices are not getting released, which will help digest the food. Therefore, whatever food we may eat with this kind of mental state will get rotten and it will turn into acid instead of the nutrients being released and absorbed in the body. So when we sit down to eat, if we sit down in a happy and a peaceful state, then the digestive juices are adequately released, the food is properly churned, the food is properly chewed, and the food is then properly digested and absorbed in the system. This is very important. The third thing is that when we feel hungry, then there is a belly fire which is there, which helps the secretion of the important juices which will help us digest the food. So this fire needs to be kept on. What happens at times is that when we have water during our meal times, or if we have very cold water just before the food time, or if we have water just after finishing our food, then this fire goes off, which makes it difficult for our food to get digested. So we need to take care that when we sit down to eat, we do not have any water during our meal times and for at least half an hour to 45 minutes after the meal time. So if we take care of these three things, one is keeping the gut clean so that our digestive system works well. Number two, eating food in the morning which is extremely light and basically fruits and juices. Number three, during the day we eat food which is easily digestible, which we will be covering in the later videos. And the fourth, we eat in a state of peace and happiness. This is what will help our food to get digested well and get properly absorbed in our system and release a state of optimal health.